In this video, I'm going to explain grooving cycle, how to write a part program for grooving cycle. First, we'll see the syntax of the grooving cycle. The program command using for grooving cycle is G75. G75 R, and the second line is G75 X, Z, P, Q and F. So R, the small r is representing the return amount, how much the tool will move backwards, that will specify here a small r. And x is the total depth along x-axis. That diametrical value we have to give the what is the total depth of groove is required, that we have to mention here. And the total depth along x-axis incremental value, that small u indicates. And z is the total depth along the z-axis, absolute value, and the total depth along z-axis incremental value. And you have to mention the PEC increment in x-axis in microns. So these value, whatever value we mentioned here, P and Q, it will take as microns. So accordingly you have to take the distances. And Q is the stepping distance towards in x direction, that is also in terms of microns. And F is indicates the feed rate. So this is the syntax, simple, the two-line syntax is sufficient to complete the entire grooving cycle. It's very short program while using the grooving cycle, once if you know this grooving cycle syntax. Now let us see that the part program using grooving cycle that I want to explain now. Now let us, this is the grooving, I want to do it. According to the what is the width of the tool you are going to take, accordingly you have to write that the program. Now here I am taken 3 mm wide grooving tool. Accordingly I have to calculated all the dimensions. So the first block is N10, G21, G98. Already I explained 21, 98, what is there, the metric units, 98 is the feet per minute. And the second block N50, G28, U0, W0. That is the tool sent to the reference point. Then you have to change the tool, that is M06, T03 is the change the tool to the grooving tool. After changing the tool, then we have to set the speed. Now I have set the speed is 850 RPM in clockwise direction. M03 is the clockwise direction. S850 indicates the speed of the workpiece. Now bring the tool from the reference point to the tool entry point. So this movement is a rapid movement. Then I'm using G00 for rapid movement, and X51 just 1 mm above the workpiece, and Z is equal to -5 because the groove will start at 5 mm after the 5 mm length. So that I give a X is equal to 51, Z -5. Then we have to mention the grooving cycle G75 R1. So each time 1 mm it return the tool will move. Okay. So second block G75 X20. Okay. So now that 20 is the depth of diametrical value of the workpiece. Up to that we want to make the grooving, and the grooving the length is 40 mm. So from the beginning it's a 45. So I taken minus 45, and P100 100 is the microns. Okay, and Q is 1500, that also microns. So that value each time the tool will shifted towards in minus Z direction. So F is 22 feet. Okay. So until this grooving is completed, these two blocks is sufficient to complete the entire grooving. So after completion of the grooving, then you have to send tool to the reference point G28, U0, W0. Then you can stop the spindle M05. Then program is end and rewind, that is the M30. This is the simple program is sufficient to make the grooving cycle. Now I want to show for clarity the simulation, how it will be working. I want to show this simulation. Now let us, this is the workpiece. Now the tool is at reference point. Now the tool will come to the tool entry point. Then the tool will move, okay, up to the 20 mm. Okay, then it will come out. Then in Z direction it will take the 1.5 mm step. Then again it will make the grooving operation. Then again it shifted towards the minus Z direction and goes up to the 20 mm. then it's come back, again it's shifted. So it's continuous up to that the what is the length you want to make. That is the here I want to take the 40 length groove. So up to that the cycle itself it will take. We need not write any further program. The 2 lines is sufficient to this make this entire grooving operation. Now let us see that how the tool is taking each time it going up to 20 depth, and it's coming back and shifted towards minus that value 1.5